So it turns out that the PlayStation 5 consoles are going to be sold out for years to come. Great. So this is a bit of a follow-up to one of my previous videos where I talked about how smart Sony was being about uh, addressing the issue of PlayStation 5 shortages. Basically, there's a really low inventory of microprocessors, right? So the 10 nanometer processor for semiconductors is what everybody's sort of clamoring for. So Sony was talking about making a 6 nanometer chip for their systems, but that's not going to start until 2022. So basically, to sort of bring this point home and reiterate the fact that they are going to be sold out for the next year or more. There was a follow-up interview about where they're at with the PlayStation 5 console. I don't think demand is calming down this year, and even if we secure a lot more devices and produce many more units of the PlayStation 5 next year, our supply wouldn't be able to catch up with demand, Sony CFO Hiroki Totoki said during a conference call. We have sold more than 100 million units of the PlayStation 4, and considering our market share and reputation, I can't imagine demand dropping easily. So basically, Sony has this goal, as you know, to sell basically as many PlayStation 5s as they possibly can. They want to sell more than the PlayStation 4's second year of sales, which was around 14.8 million units, but they're running into all of these production issues. Now, both Sony and Xbox are running into these production issues. And previously, I actually gave them credit for being forward thinking. We know what's going on with the difficulty of these semiconductors. Everybody is competing to get these. Both Sony and Xbox are having trouble getting these created, as are any manufacturer. Basically, the whole industry is in a very chaotic state due to the pandemic, and everybody is fighting to get time on the machines that create these chips. So here's one of my quotes from my other videos. Digitime claims that Taiwanese juggernaut TSMC will begin manufacturing a new semi-customized 6 nanometer chip for the system starting in 2022, which would replace the existing 7 nanometer chip used in the console right now. It's unlikely that this will result in a change to the external appearance of the appliance, although there may be additional benefits, such as more economic power draw. That's according to Push Square. And I guess I got the semiconductor size wrong from 10. It's actually, they're reducing it from 7 to 6. And a few people pointed out in that story that they have also been talking, or there's been rumors about a slim PlayStation 5. We know that's sort of timed, 2022 sort of timed to when a console refresh could happen. I actually think that's going to be much further off than normal. I think right now the consoles are selling so insanely well that I can't imagine the time is right to do a semi-gen refresh or even begin thinking about that right now. So let's just stop with all that, because I don't think we're getting a PS5 Slim or anything like that anytime soon. If anything, I would imagine that in like 2025. Why would you redesign your console if you can't sell enough of the one that you already have? I don't imagine them looking to create another version of a console unless they're able to figure out a way to swap all the internal components and make it easier to manufacture. But it's not an issue with like the plating or any of the other fans or any of the other parts. It's just an issue with these processors, and this is an issue that's industry wide. This is Xbox, this is Sony, this is cars, this is your refrigerator. Probably everybody needs these processors, so everybody's sort of fighting for time on these machines. And again, Kantan Games analyst Dr. Serkin Toto said it's only going to have a new semi-customized 6 nanometer CPU from AMD, and it's likely not going to affect the redesign of the external components. It's only going to be the internal stuff. Yeah, so basically their whole goal is they just really want to beat the sales target of the original PlayStation, of what the PlayStation 4 did. And Jim Ryan also said it will get better every month through 2021. Ryan said the pace of the improvement in the supply chain will gather throughout the course of the year. So by the time we get to the second half of 2021, you're going to see really decent numbers indeed. I mean, that's all good, but nobody can buy a PlayStation 5 at this point, which is incredibly frustrating to everybody, right? Yeah, so I don't know how they're going to be able to do this. I would love to hear what you think, if a redesign is even necessary. For me, just thinking about the idea of a PlayStation redesign right now, I'm like, nobody can even buy your console. Why would you announce another pretty looking console that no one's going to be able to buy? It just, the timing just doesn't seem right now. And I feel like, yeah, you can, people are discussing it and they're talking about it, like, but if Xbox came out with a console refresh right now, would that make any sense? They have the S, they have the X, they're also sold out everywhere. The PlayStation 5 has their PlayStation 5 console that's sold out everywhere. Nobody can buy these things. You just can't get them in stores. There's still the scalper problem. And they're just going to be like, hey, here's a new redesign. All the commenters, all they're going to talk about is just like, I can't even buy the original one. So I just don't see that happening. I would love to hear from you in the comments below about what you think. Like, do you think that seems like a good idea right now? Why is that idea getting so much steam and rumors within the Twitter spheres right now? I'm sure it's because of some document that was released, but I'm serious. I think that's like 2025. I don't think we hear about any sort of console refresh. The console came out in November. It hasn't even been out 1 year yet, and we're already talking about mid-gen refreshes. Like, that's just nuts to me. They would probably be in the concept phase if anything right now, and not in implementation phase. Again, many years off. Don't hold your breath for that one. That's my 2 cents on the whole situation. But I'd love to hear yours. So that will be what we discuss in the comments below. So regardless, Sony is making the new nanometer processor. They were very clear that, hey, you're not going to be able to get a PS5 for years. They think it's going to stabilize in 2022, probably because of this processor being redesigned. I would be surprised if even that is the case, because none of the consoles stay on store shelves. It's absolutely insane and good for the industry that things are selling so well, because it means we're going to have games for years to come. Hey, that's all I have for this video. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Destin. If you like these late night rambles, I appreciate you watching. The channel has seen insane growth. These are late night vlogs where I just sort of talk about the news. So, I don't always get everything 100% correct, and I apologize for that. Keep me honest in the comments. If you like this stuff, please subscribe. If you want to go a step further, memberships are turned on. Memberships are a thing YouTube offers content creators, so I turned it on, and you guys are supporting me. A few of you are, and I really genuinely appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, I'm going to get some rest, sign off, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye, everybody.